Welcome to this quick guide where I'm going to show you how to uninstall Microsoft Edge from Windows 10 and Windows 11. And if you get any value out of this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. But to get started with the guide, if you want to uninstall Microsoft Edge from Windows 10 and Windows 11 using the Windows built-in uninstaller, you can follow this guide. And if you don't know already, Microsoft recently announced that you'll be able to uninstall Microsoft Edge in Windows 10 and Windows 11 due to this Digital Markets Act in the EU. So if you have a look at this blog post, Microsoft announced that they've added the ability to uninstall all of these apps, and one of them is Microsoft Edge in the EU. Now, if you want to be able to uninstall Microsoft Edge, whether you're in the EU or not, you can follow this guide. And to get started, the first thing that you need to check is that you're on one of these builds. So if you have a Windows 10, you need to be on this build or above. And if you're on Windows 11, you need to either be on this build or above, or this build or above. Now, to check which build you have, you can click on your start button and then you can type WinVer. So you can do a search for WinVer, then you can open that up. And here you'll find which build you have. Now, as you can see here, I've got build 22621.3007. So that's above this number here. So just make sure that you're on one of these builds or above, and then you can carry on with this guide. If your Windows isn't up to date, go ahead and check for updates by right-clicking on the start button, then clicking on settings. Then scroll all the way down on the left, click on Windows Update, and then just click on Check for Updates to make sure that your system is up to date. But to get started with the guide, the first thing you want to do is you want to download ViveTool, and I'll have a written guide on my website where you can get all of these links, so you can just get that from the video's description. But the first thing that you need to do is you need to download the ViveTool. So if you're on this GitHub page, just scroll all the way down until you find this ViveTool zip file. Click on that. It's going to start the download for the ViveTool. Just click on this folder to show it in your downloads folder. And now you need to extract this because it's a zip file. So to do that, just select the zip file, then right click on it and drag it anywhere in an empty space here in this folder. And you're going to get this option to extract the files. Click on that. And then you can just click on extract. It's going to extract those files to your downloads folder. Then you can just close this window. And now what you want to copy is this ViveTool folder. So select it, right click on it, then copy it, then navigate to your C drive, and then you can just right click here and then paste it. And then you can double click on this folder to open it. Now, once you've done that, click on your start button, then do a search for CMD, and you should find the command prompt. Right click on that and click on Run as Administrator. And it's going to open the command prompt as administrator. Now, next, what you want to do is you want to select this address here on top in this top bar. Select it, then right click on it and then click on copy, or press Ctrl and C on your keyboard to copy this. Then go back to the command prompt, type in CD space and then right click, which will paste the text that you just copied. Then press enter on your keyboard. It's going to change the directory to this directory. And then you need to copy this command, again, that you can get from my written guide on my website. Select this command, right click on it, click on copy, go back to the command prompt, right click in command prompt to paste that text, and then press enter. And you should see that this configuration has been successfully set with the ViveTool. Once you've done that, you can close command prompt. And now next, we need to change some settings in the Windows folder. So go back to the File Explorer, click on your C drive, then go to Windows, then select any one of these folders and press S. So you can jump to S and then scroll down until you find the System32 folder, which is right here. Double click on that to open it. And once you're in the System32 folder, do a search for Integrate. And then you should find this Integrated Services Region Policy Set.json file. And once you have this file, just select it, right click on it, and then copy it and just make a backup of it on your desktop. So just paste it on the desktop so you have a backup of that file. Then go back to your File Explorer. And now you need to right click on this file. Then you need to click on Properties. And then you need to click on the Security tab. Make sure that all application packages is selected. Then click on Advanced. and then here where it says owner, click on change, and then you want to type in administrators, then click on check names, and you should get something that looks like this. Click on OK, then click on apply. You'll get this message. Click on OK, then click on OK again. Then once again, you'll be in the security tab, then select administrators here in this block. Click on edit, and in this next window, make sure that administrators is selected once again. Then click on this checkbox inside of full control, so all of these checkboxes light up. Then click on apply, click on yes, and click on OK, and then click on OK to close this window. Next, you need to click on the start button, then do a search for Notepad. Then you can right click on Notepad and click on run as administrator, and it's going to open a new instance of Notepad if you already had one open like I did. Now what you want to do is you want to click on file, then you want to click on open, and then you'll need to click on your C drive, click on Windows, just select any one of these folders, press S on your keyboard so you can easily get to the System32 folder. Double click on System32, and then you can do a search inside of System32 for integrate, exactly like we did earlier. Then just change this setting here from text documents to all files, and you're going to find this integrated services region policy set. Double click on that to open it, and it's going to open inside of Notepad. So you're going to see this line that says Edge is uninstallable, and then just below that you want to set the default state. You want to change that from disabled to enabled. And then you want to go to region, and below that it says enabled, and then you have this bunch of text here, which is all the regions that it's set to. Now next you need to open regedit, and you can do that by clicking on the start button, and then you can type in regedit, and then just open the registry editor app. And then you need to go to this registry key, which again you can get from my written guide. And once you're here, you want to have a look at the name, and then you want to check what this data is set to. So for me, it's set to ZA. So then back in this file, we need to add ZA at the start here. So to do that, I'll add 2 quotes, then a comma, and then space. And then inside of the quotes, I'll add ZA. Now remember, you need to add whatever you have here. For me, it's ZA, but you need to type whatever you have the data set to. Once you're done with that, you can click on File, and then save, and it's going to save that file. Now once you've done that, you can close all of these windows, and then you can do a restart in your system. Once the computer has finished restarting, now we can try and uninstall Edge. And to do that, I'm going to right click on the start button, then click on installed apps, and here on this list of installed apps, I'm just going to scroll down until I find Microsoft Edge, which is right here. And if we click on these 3 dots, we still can't uninstall it. So what I'm going to try and do is, if we search for region, and we change the country or region to US, and we open Notepad again, I'm just going to right click and run as administrator. Then I'm going to go ahead and navigate back to that file, the integrated services region policy set file. I'll open that again, and instead of ZA here, I'm just going to add another region, and I'll set that to US. And then once again, I'll click on File and then Save. And I'm just going to close all of these windows and then do a restart again. Now let's go back to the installed apps. Have a look at Microsoft Edge. And I still can't uninstall it for some reason. So as you can see from the date, it's a whole day later. And when I switched on this computer today, I noticed that I have the Copilot button, which was something else that I was trying to add to this computer as well. And also when I went to the installed apps, by right clicking on the start button and then clicking on installed apps, if I now find Microsoft Edge on this list, I have the uninstall option. So I'm going to click on uninstall and then click on uninstall again. Then I get this option to uninstall Microsoft Edge. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to uninstall Edge from Windows 11. And if I click on the Microsoft Edge update service, it seems I'm not able to uninstall the Microsoft Edge update service. So I'm not sure if it's going to reinstall itself through a Windows update. But at the end of the day, it seems I just had to wait one day, switch the computer off and turn it on again. And then I had the option to uninstall Microsoft Edge. Now, if you want to reinstall Microsoft Edge and you don't have any other browser to launch to reinstall Microsoft Edge, what I recommend you do is just click on Start and then do a search for PowerShell. Then right-click on PowerShell and run it as an administrator. And then you can just launch the Chris Titus Tech Windows utility with this command. And I'll also include this in my written guide, which will be linked in the description of this video. But you can launch the Chris Titus Tech Windows utility by pressing Enter. Once the Chris Titus Tech Windows utility is open, just go to the Config tab first, and then click on Winget Reinstall, just to make sure that you have Winget installed on your computer. And if we go back to this PowerShell window here, you can check the status of it. And once it's finished installing, just go back to the Windows utility, go to the Install tab, and then here in the Browser section, just select Edge and then click on Install Selected. And then you can just go back to the other PowerShell window here, and then you're going to see that Microsoft Edge will be downloaded and installed to your computer again. When it's finished, it's going to say installs have finished, and then you can just exit out of these utilities. And then again, you'll have Microsoft Edge installed on your computer and you can go ahead and use it again. But that's been my guide on how to uninstall Microsoft Edge from Windows 10 and Windows 11. And I hope this guide's been useful. Please like the video and I'll talk to you guys soon.